So I spent most of my life just staying in one country. I spent years of not traveling anywhere. I literally didn't go anywhere. But then I finally decided to book something and go somewhere. And I did this by taking a spontaneous decision because usually those are the best. So I finally decided to go. I booked the trip. But while I was doing this, while I was going through the booking, the hotels and everything, I was constantly feeling anxious about it and just constantly hoping that something happens so I can use it as an excuse to not pursue further. But everything was going according to the plans. So I'm glad that the universe was kind of pushing me towards this. The reason why this happens for you to feel overwhelmed and just not wanting to do it is because it comes from a place of uncertainty. And when you've spent so much time staying in one place, that becomes your comfort zone and it's really difficult to get out of it. Leave the bubble to do something different for once. Therefore, it affects you in many ways possible because then it becomes a part of your personality, not being someone that takes risks in things and just overall pushes to pursue something different in your life, and then you're just kind of staying in the same level to the point where doing just something really simple, it becomes really difficult to do. Now, I understand that not everyone can afford to go traveling, especially in today's economy, but what matters is the will and working towards it. And there's so many benefits of just going out there traveling, because you first of all get the clearance of your mind. You get to meet different people, different cultures. You learn about different things, how a population, a country works. You get to see cool stuff, different architectures, a lot more things that you wouldn't normally see in your day-to-day in your own country, in your own bubble that you're staying. And I realized this once I got out. At first, sure, I was overwhelmed. I was a little exhausted because it was the first time that I was traveling and meeting different people and just trying to make everyone happy while I was trying to calculate all of the new information that I was absorbing. It tends to get overwhelming, but then once you do it a second time, third time, it gets better because you get used to this. It just makes you also think of stuff differently by looking at how people live, how different cultures works, and just overall expands your knowledge to know more about the evolution of humanity and the differences that everybody has. It's just something really cool to tell people, because I personally felt like whenever people would start talking about places they've been and what they've learned, I would feel embarrassed to bring up that I've never gone anywhere and I basically don't know what that experience is like. So even though it was difficult to get out of my comfort zone, I had to push myself because I constantly acknowledged that if I keep on staying in the same place, I'm not gonna progress as a person. And I didn't eventually want to be one of those stubborn old men that just grew up their entire life staying in their hometown and they never left it, you know? There's a lot of benefits of traveling as well, because first of all, it defines freedom. You see that by traveling, by doing all of these things, money is not everything, but also it helps you realize who you really are once you go out of your comfort zone, out of your routines, out of your usual environment. You start to realize things differently, you view things differently, and just overall you become more self-aware of the surroundings, the cultures, and how everything else works. And one of the biggest things, it expands the perspective, you know, by seeing different cultures, different beliefs and lifestyles that basically challenge your assumptions, and they make you overall a more open-minded person. By staying in one place, people tend to not think more outside of the box. And I've seen that happen at so many people, especially from where I grew up. Most of the people are just so close-minded. Whenever they try to give me advice in certain things, when I know they haven't traveled anywhere, they haven't really talked to wise people, or they haven't read books, or they just overall haven't explored around themselves, the environment, it just pisses me off. Like, I don't expect those type of people to be teaching me about this stuff when I know that it's all words and they don't have the facts to back it up with knowledge. A great quote to end the video from Saint Augustine: "The world is a book, and those who do not travel read only one page." That's all I had, and I will see you next time.